Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. We're gonna wait about 2 minutes to see and let people kind of stream in before we get going. But I just want to thank everybody for showing up and listening, and excited to get this kicked off in a minute or two. Obviously, we're very lucky to have the broke agent with us, aka Eric Simon, and
Thank you.
he's going to be sharing his story and just giving real estate agents advice on how to build an authentic media presence. Um, and being authentic is kind of a vague cliche these days. Um, but to build a real presence online, being authentic builds trust. And when you build trust, that translates to more leads, a lot of time, more confidence, more authority, and in the long run, in the startup world, we call it the long tail. That can lead to more commissions and more closed deals.
The long tail, I've never heard that before. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of our many buzzwords in the startup world. But so Eric, you started the broke agent at a bar in Santa Monica, and the way I understand it, you were pretty much just frustrated with the industry, and you saw a need for a consistent, relatable outlet that had a dose of humor in it, and you didn't really see anyone in the real estate agent or the real estate industry catering to that. Is that right?
Yeah, you took my pitch right there. That's exactly it.
Yeah. And so you conceived it, and what year was that? Did that meeting happen?
That was February, kind of January, February of 2015.
Nice. Okay. So in less than a year and a half, you've gone from not even having the idea to, by my count, between Instagram and Twitter, over 104,000 followers. And
Yes.
you're on Snapchat too, right?
Yeah, do you not follow me? I was snapping the preview of this right before this.
I'm my first priority after this webinar is to follow you on Snapchat. So I'll make sure to
Okay,
do that.
good.
Do how? So what's your count at with Snapchat followers so far?
Well, that's private actually,
Oh yeah,
and
'cause I know it's
for,
private. So
yeah, for views, I'll get around 1,000 views for that.
oh,
I haven't been snapping as much. I was just in Israel for a vacation for Birthright,
awesome.
and I try not to just snap showings and stuff,
Hmm.
like showings at open houses, just because that's boring. That's kind of what other realtors are doing. So I kind of create characters where I
Okay.
have a guy named Brandon who's like a scared he's a scared real estate agent that's starting out, and he goes door knocking and he cold calls and stuff. And I make his face all squished up, with the filters and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And I have a strict real estate coach named Coach Crow for escrows. So
nice.
I kind of just mess around with it for characters. Sometimes I do real estate stuff as well, just to remind people that I am an agent.
Hmm.
Just because you got to keep, some people don't think I'm doing real estate stuff at all, and then I'm just
Hmm.
sitting here doing webinars and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, Snapchat's it's a fun outlet, and I think everybody should get on it as soon as possible because that's where everyone's going, and you got to go where everyone's going. Got to go to that outlet.
yeah. I know. Like I mean, I love Snapchat, and I totally get what you're saying with the characters and stuff because I like to do that just on my personal one. But 100 or 1,000 views. So like on my Snapchat, I'll get like 100 views, but I may have 300 or 400 friends. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm assuming you just set that up pretty recently, huh?
Yes, the Snapchat, 6 months I'd say, and I haven't really plugged it as much as I should.
Yeah, it's just kind of
You
an
know,
organic thing. I feel like.
yeah, it is, but I've put some videos on YouTube of those characters if you actually want to find those, and then I've plugged the Snapchat in. But it is important to plug your other mediums in that specific space. So on Twitter, I'll remind people that I have a Facebook. On Facebook, I'll remind people that I have an Instagram, etc.
Mhm.
So you want to put different content on different forms of medium.
Yeah, yeah. You
So,
want to
Snapchat's more personal, obviously, and you want to show yourself, and I recommend that realtors start doing it. So, it's not just you selling homes. You could actually talk to them and show them your daily lives.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Snapchat is huge. I think it's going to be one of the big platforms going forward. I mean, it's just starting to gain some serious traction. I don't know if you saw the CEO. of Snapchat got engaged yesterday
To
to
a supermodel.
to a supermodel. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's
I
the
think
man. He's the Derek Jeter of the tech world.
yeah, I don't think that would have happened without Snapchat. That's just my wild guess.
He's a good-looking guy, Evan Spiegler. I don't know. I
But
mean, maybe not as
he's not
well,
Miranda
but
Kerr good looking. So
he's not who?
he's not Miranda Kerr good looking or whatever
Right. It's
however you
true.
say her last name though. So I thought that was funny. And another interesting thing I saw was that like over 30% of people that are buying homes for the first time are, so-called millennials. So
Uh-huh.
31% of people aged, or 31% of people that are buying a home for the first time are between the ages of 22 and 35.
Is that
So
the millennial demographic? I always thought it was like 18 to 32. Everyone has their own statistic, but
yeah, everyone has their own thing. Everyone has their own thing, but it's the single largest group of people. So if you're going to reach those people effectively and be authentic, Snapchat or some type of medium where you're going to connect with people our age is going to be paramount. Uh,
yeah, it's also good. I have a bunch of agents that snap me at dead open houses during inspections, during showings, actually, that when something like an issue pops up or a client's acting crazy, they'll snap me and kind of start a conversation with me. So down the road, I think it'll be a good referral system as well to
mm,
build your Snapchat following, because if I'm in Los Angeles and someone from Washington, D.C., like yourself, snaps me, now you know that I'm an agent in Los Angeles, and I know that person now. So
yeah,
if I have a client ever come to D.C., I would refer him to you.
yeah, yeah. So
So that's
have you had like an instance or like something that's happened already through Snapchat where you've communicated to do actual business, or like you're like, oh shit, I'm glad that I found out about this because now I can like head over to this listing, or now I know like to avoid this place, whatever.
I've made friends on Snapchat actually.
Hmm.
This guy named Greg Stock, aka Gangsta Greg in Seattle. Well, he snapped me in. He's a millennial. He's a real estate agent, and I started this kind of like rap battle thing with him back and forth, and that's kind of what initiated the crazy buyer video and the intro, the real estate rap videos that I posted on YouTube. So looking back on it, yeah, it kind of sparked some not business, but it sparked some content. So.
Nice.
And also, people will snap me and say like, "Oh, hey, I met blah blah blah. Who knows you?" And it's a great communication source.
Hmm. Nice. So we were talking earlier before we got everything started about how you went to USC and you've been writing before, and also another thing I noticed about you is you used to work for the Laugh Factory, or
Yes.
you had some experience there, which is a famous comedy club, obviously in LA. So
hmm
now that you're in real estate, I mean, is that something that you are always wanted to do or always had a passion for? Because I see writing and I see comedy as things that you've been involved in a lot in the past. And
Yeah.
is that something that you kind of always knew you wanted to get into, and you happen to get into real estate and you just wanted to work those two things together?
Yeah. So when I graduated college, I started a blog called the Pudgy Caddy, which was a socially based sports blog, kind of. I mean, it was sports themed, but it talked about going out as a millennial and getting out of college, basically, and all the social
Right.
circumstances that you get in with dating and stuff like that. It was kind of like a digital game slash, yeah, sports blog. And that kind of gained some traction with my friends and started getting shared a lot. But then I got the job at the Laugh Factory, and that was actually in the marketing department. But
Right.
I was interested, not never really doing comedy, but writing comedy.
Mhm.
So I worked in the marketing department there and saw a bunch of comedians and always wanted to produce that type of content, started writing jokes down. And that's kind of what triggered me to write stuff down about real estate
Mhm.
is working at the Laugh Factory. All the comedians would always talk about just any circumstance you get in, something funny pops up, write it down because maybe that's a TV episode or a joke or a tweet or an Instagram or something like that. So now when I'm at a showing and something happens,
Okay.
whether it's crazy or not, I'll write that down in my notes section.
Nice.
So when I got into real estate, I never imagined doing anything real estate comedy related. I was
Mhm.
focused on being a realtor and still am.
Mhm.
But there was a need for it, and there was nothing else there, and I figured it was a good niche. So
Nice. I like that your creative process is just like you either just like carry a notepad around or you just like write it in your phone. Like
yeah, just the notes in the phone. My mom's gotten me a couple notepads that are still sitting exactly where they are. But
Yeah, so is my mom, I think. Nice. Um, so was broke agent the concept and kind of the medium, like you were going to create a website and you were going to have social profiles? Was that like your first idea, or was this like
so
fifth or
I
sixth?
started I started with this with somebody else. His name's Wes Pinkston,
Yeah.
and so we both met at the bar at Santa Monica, and he had another business venture that he wanted me to be a part of, and he wanted me to do marketing for them and run their blog basically.
Mm,
So after a couple of beers, we were talking, and we decided to make it a comedy-based blog because that's how my writing style naturally would be. And then
mm,
we went back, downloaded the handles, and then kind of just started tweeting stuff. And then the tweets I came up with, we'd put them on Instagram and then Facebook, and didn't really try to create a brand out of it. You know, we just thought we'd call it the Broke Agent. We didn't know if it was a character or
mm,
if it was a brand or if it was a state of mind, what it was exactly, and it's still evolving constantly.
right.
It just, really took off immediately, and then since then it's just all on the major forms of social media.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you said you weren't sure if it was going to be a character or a brand. I totally get that, but it's I mean, and it's still evolving because you're still
Yeah.
starting, but it's had huge success already. So I mean, I do see it as this like brand that's speaking to people because even if you're really successful, like every real estate agent can relate to being like, fuck, this is
Yeah.
I've run out of options or feeling the feeling of being broke, so to speak. Uh,
Yeah, it's not, the name broke agent, it's because 90% of realtors are broke and are struggling and doing 30 grand a year,
yeah.
selling two or three houses.
Mhm.
So it's not really a broke theme. The name was chosen because the rich agent would turn people off, right? The broke agent makes more sense. It's funny. You can make a character out of it, and it's really just the inner monologue of a real estate agent that's going through stuff and actually talking about what's happening during the process, as opposed to other agents who are just posting their sold and their listings
Right.
and motivational quotes and stuff like that
Yeah.
on their social media. This is actually like what's going on in the trenches per se.
Right. And like everyone has their down moments or everyone has their struggles. So
Right.
kind of sharing that is a way to, like we've been going back to a couple times, but like, be authentic. Like no one, like if you only share the listings you close or whatever, how much your last commission check was, like everyone's
Mhm.
going to kind of hate you a little bit. Or if you were the rich agent instead of the broke agent, everyone would kind of hate you.
Real estate's the only business that you keep shouting out your business on social media.
Right.
I mean, the running joke is if you're a cashier at Vons or CVS or something like that, you're not scanning an Xbox controller and then posting it on social media and
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, just need another, GameCube."
Yeah.
So it's just like, you kind of got to do that, but you got to do it with taste.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
that's kind of what like our brand preaches
Mhm.
is authenticity. As buzzy as that is, it's true, and just yeah, humor.
Yeah. Definitely. So we're talking. You've got 104 over 104,000 followers on.
You're not counting the Facebook or the Snapchat or the Pinterest or the
Yeah.
email list, but yeah,
I don't know.
we'll say
Give me
probably 100,000.
okay. Give me a
There's
total.
some crossover too.
What would be your uh, follower count if you had to?
Let's just say 125,000.
Okay.
Let's
All
put
right. All right. So
with the
125,000 in 17 months or 16 months or something like that.
yeah.
Um, was there a moment where you were like, oh, damn, like this is really taking off, or like one post? Was it like the rap, real estate rap, or was it just gradual? Like, did it
No,
have
I've watched a lot of these videos. Someone just knocked on my door. I've watched a lot of these videos of influencers talking about kind of like that moment that they've had where their following count has just jumped up exponentially, whether it's a viral video or a retweet from a celebrity or something like that. And that hasn't really happened. It's
traction?
really just been a gradual climb. Um, I'm in here. Don't come in. Whoever that is. Sorry.
It's totally cool. It's
Yeah.
real life. Everyone can tell it's we're definitely live right now.
Right, yeah, this is live. This is what happens. This is my
Yeah.
office right here. So people come knocking on my door, they need to know it's work time, webinar time. So yeah, it was really just a gradual climb. It took off. Like people shared it. It got shared all over the place. On Instagram was kind of like the initial focus, and people were tagging themselves, tagging other agents and stuff. So that's really how it gradually has been increasing over 100 a day for the past year.
Sweet. Yeah. So like, did you have that like celebrity retweet or I guess maybe like celebrity agent retweet? Like, did someone from
Uh,
your
yeah,
listing?
Ryan Serhant from Million Dollar Listings
Oh yeah.
reposted one of our Instagrams at one point.
Nice.
Tom Ferry commented on a post like at the very beginning. He's a famous real estate
Yeah.
coach, and that kind of just gave it validation.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Brian, or I mean, I don't know him, but I know of him from the show uh,
yeah,
because I watch that from time to time. It's very entertaining.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, Josh Flagg reposted something on Facebook, and I've been in contact with all those guys. Whether it's like shirt sales or other stuff like that. So yeah, I've had that celebrity retweet, I guess, but
yeah,
that isn't really what pushed it. It just gave it a little bit of a boost, I guess.
yeah. It was but I mean, that must be cool to be like, oh, damn, like Josh Flagg is, like giving me a shout out or whatever, or like
Yeah,
you have his email address and he responds back.
yeah, it's cool, but they're real estate celebrities. Like
Yeah,
that's it's not Derek Jeter or
yeah. You got to take what you can
Denzel
get.
Washington retweeting you.
Yeah,
It's a guy that's been on the show for a couple of years.
yeah,
So
I know. But like it's you take what you can get, and that's still pretty cool though. So you're starting the website and social media, and you are getting a lot of followers and a lot of traffic each day. What tools, if any, or I mean, what would be if you had to start over again? What like services or tools would you kind of go to and be like, I definitely need these, or these are totally essential?
like type of apps that I would use to like
Yeah,
increase following account or like the method I used.
not
I
yeah, not like
I
platform, like service basically.
Okay. I mean, there's scheduling services that I should use more. Like
Hmm.
Hootsuite, which is the social media scheduling service
Hmm.
that you could automate your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything like that, which I should be utilizing more, just because it's one man show now, and it's just I'm retweeting old stuff. I don't know. It's just you should use that, but I wouldn't have done it any differently. You got to go where everyone else is going, the new medium, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. You don't want to just stay on Facebook, even though the average demographic of an agent's a 55-year-old lady, pretty much, is the demographic for a real estate agent.
Okay.
So, but there's an ageification process that goes on in social media, and you've seen it go from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to Snapchat.
Yeah.
So I really wouldn't have done anything different. I mean, the key is to getting followers is having good content. There's no trick. You could wait for that retweet, but you got to have stuff that people want to see.
Hmm.
I mean, you got to have stuff that people want to retweet and want to share. So that person that knocked on the door was just these new neighbors that just moved in, and now I feel bad that I just yelled at them, but
Oh, it's okay. It's
I'll go knock on there afterwards.
Yeah, you can go up there and say you're doing something super important.
Right.
Did you say agentification before?
Ageification.
Oh, ageification. Okay.
Yeah, and
Age,
that word is not mine. I saw that in like a Gary Vaynerchuk video or something like that. But yeah, it's a process that happens with these apps that start off and with high schoolers basically, kind of like Musical.ly is doing now. I don't know if you've heard of that app or Vine. They start off in high school, and then eventually it starts getting up into the college ranks. Like Draw Something, Pokemon Go, these things, and then people start. The ageification process brings it to 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and soon your grandma, your grandpa are on Facebook. So
that's
that's what I'm talking about with that.
yeah. And is
And
that when it goes to your grandma, then it's time to
yeah, then it's time. It's not time to exit it, but it's time to like adopt the next thing once
okay.
once grandma's hitting you up.
Yeah, I thought you were almost you said agentification, which I guess would be like agent speak on social media, where they're
Yeah, well, maybe I just dubbed a new word there.
yeah, maybe you just invented something.
Exactly.
Yeah. So So if I'm already a real estate agent, I'm busy, and that's been my business, but I want to kind of do reverse of what you did, and I want to build like an authentic presence, and I want to start building up some like real content that I can post. But I'm busy, I have a family, whatever. Like you're saying, Hootsuite would be a good tool because you can just schedule posts in advance, and
At the beginning, I focused on that a lot because I figured that realtors would buy their phones in the mornings around like 11 o'clock and then 2 p.m. I tried to hit those sweet spots for social media posts.
Mhm.
And for blogs, you do want to post Tuesdays, Wednesdays, because Fridays people are kind of out and drinking cocktails around 5 o'clock. So it really depends the medium. Again, if you're going to launch a YouTube video, you want to launch that on a Monday or a Tuesday and let it get shared throughout the week.
Okay.
So for the traditional Instagram, Twitter, Facebook post, I kind of do it whenever because real estate agents are always by their phones, I'm starting to realize.
Uh,
And the more followers I got, I just realized that it was really the content still that hits. So if it's great content, it's still going to get shared, retweeted, liked, and commented on. So this people will talk about sweet spots, but it has to be good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. That's super useful. I know for like webinars and some of the marketing outreach that Hurdlr does, middle of the week for the blog posts and stuff like that are, sweet spots. But at the end of the day, it has to be good, right? It has to be something that people are going to use for, weeks and months later. So that's, that's definitely good advice. So moving on, you've got the, fledgling broke agent empire, but you mentioned earlier that you're still a full-time agent, and that's your, number one priority, even if having this brand is still a big responsibility and probably takes a lot of time too. But with the content and with the name and brand that you're building, have you seen that impact your real estate business?
Everyone always asks this question. I wish it has. I've gotten a couple referrals actually through it from just people knowing I'm in Los Angeles that haven't actually surmounted to anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's helped me in the sense that my friends all know now that I do real estate. So my friends in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, they all know about that
Mm-hmm.
because of the brand.
Yeah.
I try to keep them as separate as possible. When I'm working with somebody, they usually know I'm the broke agent. Obviously, I'm working with friends and family and referrals.
Is that on your
So I was that.
is that on your business card that you give out to
I have two business cards. I have my brokerage business card and then my regular business card. So it
nice,
depends what
nice,
networking event I'm at that I'll pass out one or the other.
nice.
So it hasn't necessarily impacted my business yet, and I think that I could interlap the two, but
Mm.
I think right now it's smart to keep this brand over here and then my practice over here.
Yeah, I feel like because I'm not a real estate agent, but if I was a buyer or seller, like I wouldn't really I wouldn't really care that much if you're the broke agent, but almost from because I know you're with a pretty big brokerage, right?
Mhm.
Um, it almost helps more like networking with other real estate agents because they know you're this guy and they can relate and they attach more importance to that. But
Yeah,
maybe that can get you some networking opportunities, get your profile out there more, and get you in front of more people. That
it's great with other agents.
way.
It is. Going to conferences wearing the broke agent shirt. I'm setting up these little contacts, all over the country by doing this. And I'll be at a showing or something, and someone will recognize, the broke agent, recognize myself, and then I'll be in contact with them because of that too. So it's pretty cool, and I think eventually they'll overlap, but right now they're separate.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that makes sense. And if if you're continuing with the broke agent, are you and you because with every product, especially nowadays, everyone's focused on getting more users and not worrying about monetizing or turning it into an actual money making business until they have, a million users or something like that. Would there be a point where you focus 100% on it?
On monetization,
Yeah, or just yeah, if the day comes where you want to focus on making money, or you see the opportunity to do that and you have more fun doing it, or would you switch entirely over to kind of in the media marketing
Yeah,
side?
yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if that opportunity present itself, which it kind of already is and has,
Yeah.
with real estate companies, being an influencer in the industry have hit me up and want advertising space. I'm trying to find the best way to incorporate my voice and not, have something detrimental to the brand. But if it's a real estate open house app and it like appeals to all agents and it's something that I agree with, then I'll definitely push it forward. But yeah, I think my passion is writing and comedic writing, but real estate's also, I love doing that as well. So right now they're kind of even, I'd say.
Mm.
But down the road, if something switches one way or the other, I think I would definitely go to broke agent. That's the passion.
I can definitely tell that. Um, Sweet. Well, we've covered a ton of things, and I feel like there's some key takeaways. And obviously, for everyone watching and listening right now, this is going to go up on YouTube in a couple
We'll
days.
cut we'll cut out the part where
Yeah,
the vocalization was happening.
yeah, we'll do some post production magic there and clean things up. But and so for everybody, we're going to be sending out the link to your email address that you signed up with. So just be on the lookout for that. But right now, we're just gonna do some questions. There are a couple questions in here, and I'll just run them by you, Eric, and you can cover them. So
Cool.
Michael Bay, I don't know if that's the director or not. Probably not.
Assuming it's not the Transformers director, although that would be cool if you wanted to tune into my webinar.
Yeah. He says Pokemon Go or Pokemon No.
Right now, Pokemon Go. I play it every now and then. Hey, it gets you out of the house. My office is in my house, so half the time I'll, take a walk, catch a couple Charizards,
Nice.
and then and also it could be useful for real estate. You could
I saw.
you could go door knocking and play Pokemon Go. I think I did a post about that. So, if you want to relate your business to Pokemon, go ahead. But yeah, Pokemon Go. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I saw that you had because I checked out your website I think this morning and I saw that you had a Pokemon Go post. I think
Yeah.
every media outlet was required to do some kind of Pokemon Go post in the last
I
10.
know, I know. It's kind of cheesy, but you got to go where the pop culture's going
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
So now it's all Pokemon Go. But I have a feeling in 2 weeks I won't be on it, and everyone won't be on it. It's kind of, remember Draw Something?
Not me personally, but I'm sure I could find someone that was deep into the draw something craze.
Yeah, Draw Something was like a huge craze in college for like 2 weeks, and then it got bought for $250 million, and then nobody else was on it. Kind of like Words with Friends, stuff like that. I have a
Where do you-
feeling this will be a little bit, have a little bit longer of a half-life, but I think it'll be over pretty soon.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling with it's like the DJ Khaled of apps or something like that. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good comparison.
So a lot of these are interesting. Hopefully, you'll know more about them than I would. Ron Schwolski says, "Crow, I feel your pain."
Oh, attaboy. I like the Crow nickname.
He's one of
The
your
ref.
characters.
Huh? Yeah, yeah, that's the coach. But also I call myself in the rap video Crow, aka the Crow, because of all the escrows. And sometimes I'll do a little like bird noise afterwards. I just started a podcast called Caravan Confessions, actually, where realtors call in and tell me their insane stories. And at the beginning, I say like AKA the Crow and stuff. So I'm glad that's catching on. Thanks, Schwolski.
That's your that's one of your persona, or one of your rap personas.
One of my AKAs. Yeah.
You're right,
Yeah,
AKA.
the
Yeah,
Crow,
yeah.
AKA the Lease King, AKA Dr. Dreidels, AKA the Trusted.
Yeah,
Oh, that. It's enough.
Dr. Dreidels is probably my favorite
Yeah.
out of those. Yeah, so that Trina says Trina had no issue with sound. She said you guys are awesome. And then Michael Bay was trying to help us out with fixing our audio issue, which we resolved.
Maybe it is the Transformers director because that guy's totally tech savvy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he would have had a couple solutions for us.
the explosions.
Yeah. some CGI in there. All
Yeah.
right, man. Well, again, thanks so much for taking the time out of your day. I know you're busy to sit down with us, and I had a lot of fun. And we'll wrap things up now. And guys, again, thanks for joining us. And you'll be getting the link, and Eric will be in touch after this as well. But you guys will be getting the link to the full video in a couple days. So have a great day, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you for tuning in.
See ya.